This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's the week of August 7th, 2020, and it's a Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, here in Orlando. And before I introduce the cast, I want to tell you that today's show is brought to you by Life Journal. Life Journal is a 13-week daily planner and journal designed to clarify and focus who you are created and called to be. The journal and planner combine both your spiritual life and your day-to-day life together into one tool. It's like if Tim Ferriss, Christine Kane, Toadine Robbins, and Louis Giglio all got together in a room and created a planner. It's a perfect size to throw in a backpack or laptop bag. And the best part is it's undated, so you can literally start anytime. Today, tomorrow, doesn't matter. You can organize your days, weeks, and months, create and accomplish goals, and grow in your faith all in one place. It includes things like daily planning, a journal, to-do lists, gratitude, Bible study, goal setting, habit tracking, a prayer journal, and an area for sermon or podcast notes, which we know you're going to take notes on this show. It really does have it all. Start something new, start something you've known you've needed to do for a while, and start today with a free 7-day trial by going to gospelfocus.com or get a special Relevant Podcast discount of 40% off your first Life Journal at gospelfocused.com/relevant. That's gospelfocused, FOCUSED.com/relevant. All right. Well, joining us from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author and podcaster Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
And from Nashville, Tennessee, artist and producer and entrepreneur, life coach, Derek Miner.
Hola.
If I throw you off, you change your greeting. Have you noticed this? If I add something to your titles, you come with a new greeting.
I start feeling myself, bro. Every time you add on to it, I'm like, yeah, you right. Yeah.
Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Cory Asbury joins us. He's worship leader. You probably know him for a little song called Reckless Love that he wrote a couple years ago. And then he vanished. He pulled a Chappelle and he just went away at the height of his success. He's back. He has a new album, and we talked to him about that. Also, Pastor Chad Veach joins us on the show today. He has a new book coming out in a couple weeks, and we talked to him about that and a bunch of other stuff. It's a good show. And at the end of the show, you want to stay tuned. We have your alien feedback. You guys had a lot of thoughts about UFOs. So
I'm so glad we're talking about this, bringing that conversation to the forefront where it belongs. And by the way, we got Jamie, your whole family is invested in this topic now. We got firsthand proof of that your family is now going down this rabbit hole. And I'm sure that the past weekend, because you sent us a text, I think it was on Sunday afternoon, maybe. I'm trying to remember. It was sometime over the weekend. How much of your weekend, Jamie, were you involved in watching either weird alien documentaries on Netflix or talking to your kids about weird alien stuff?
So this is my oldest son. He's 16. And when I get done recording this podcast with you guys, literally he's the first person I want to talk to, because I'm gonna be like, Caden, let me tell you what I learned today. And I'll tell him.
I learned about Tame Impala.
Yes, I tell him these things, and he all the time is like, I already knew that, Mom. And so I'm trying really hard to get ahead of the game here. If you guys could help me out, but he is totally in. I sent you a video. We listened to the whole show last week together, and he's like, I like this Jesse guy. That's literally what he said to me. He's like, I like this Jesse guy, and I'm here for this. So we talked all about it at the dinner table, and he is 100%. He said he would get in the ship. Remember, I asked you, would you go in a ship? He said he would. So there you go.
You might as well, because here's the thing. If they're coming and they're on a ship, you might as well go voluntarily, because if they made it here, they're going to do what they want.
They might treat you nicely if you go if you volunteer. They'll be like, oh, she was in.
Yeah, exactly. Remind me again, what's your oldest son's name?
Caden.
Cameron, I want to do a bonus episode or even a bonus segment, okay. that is, we get Caden on and we chop it up. We really, really kind of see where he's at. Because I have a lot of ideas on this topic that I have a slice today that isn't a sci-fi. Well, it's actually happening. So it's not fiction, but it's science related, that I feel like has a lot of interesting implications that I think Caden, he's tacking in the same direction here. So I'd love
Caden's
to
here
have
for
him on.
all of this.
Yeah, good.
I'm sorry. Before I move the show along to the hot list, I'm just distracted. This is an audio podcast, but listeners probably know we see each other. We're video conferencing. Derek Minor is in a tank top and looking.
Are you distracted by his?
I'm distracted by his biceps and his shoulder strength. I didn't realize you were so jacked, man.
Bro, that's that country strength, bro. When you grow up in Columbia, Tennessee, throwing hay bales on the back of trucks, it don't leave. It don't leave, baby. You know what I'm saying?
They call that farm strong.
That's it. Hey, look.
It's a different kind of strength.
When we start filming this boy and putting it out, it's tank tops every day.
Okay.
And once I lose this dad weight, it's over. I'm never wearing a shirt. I'm just letting y'all know.
Look,
I'm never wearing a shirt.
Here's how on the spectrum of just, brute strength it goes. There's like 3 tiers. Yeah. One is like people who go to the gym and do CrossFit. Physically, they appear to be very strong. Okay. Mm-hmm. But that's more of a physique thing than I'm talking just brute strength. Right. Strength that it can, I'm talking about this strength that's actually gonna help. Like, you're moving, and for some reason you're moving into a mansion that has, a bunch of armoires that need to go up a flight of stairs. Okay. Right. I'm talking brute strength.
Right,
I'm not talking about
that's not CrossFit strength. No.
CrossFit strength is basically, they call those in gym parlance bar muscles, right? It's the muscles that pop through the t-shirt while you're hanging out at the bar, right? They're great at bar muscles, okay? But it's a physique thing. I need an armoire 3 flights up and then someone to go back down and get the couch. Okay, everyone's been there. You need brute. You need just brute strength. Yes. So on the spectrum, it's the CrossFit physiques here. It's dad strength, which, by the way, isn't limited to just men. It happens when someone is older and is a parent and has been so on edge for so many years that all these weird hormones have been pumping through your body and muscles.
It's like a superpower.
It is that as a parent, you never have to even work out again. You're just going to be given this weird brute strength. Anyone who's played,
you're picking up children all the time. I mean, think about it. That's
but it's even when the kids are older.
45-pound barbells. I mean,
even when the kids are older and you're stressing about teenage stuff, the brute strength grows. Anyone who's played driveway
so you're
basketball,
saying it's stress induced. You're saying this is an activity induced.
It's survival.
It's hormonal.
Yeah, it's a survival.
Without a doubt.
And here's the proof. This is anecdotal, but it seems anyone has this experience. Anyone who's played driveway basketball with an uncle at some point, they can be way smaller than you. And you're like, oh my gosh, where did,
you can't move them.
You can't. Yeah. They're immovable. They'll back you. There's no point. They know they're not taking you off the dribble. They just back you down by slamming their butt and their back into you. And they're strong. But true. The top of the pyramid is farm strong. With Derek, I feel like you probably have all 3 levels of this strength right now.
Well, I don't go to the gym, so it's just pure dad strength, and then just country strength, man. Like my partner I grew up with, I remember we were moving, and my mom had this deep freezer full of food, and it was on the back of this U-Haul. And this dude probably, no lie, he's probably, at the time we were younger, he might have weighed 200 pounds tops, no lie. This joker picks up the deep freezer off the back of the U-Haul and just lays it on the ground like it was a chair in a corner. And I'm just like, dog, it's just something about growing up in the country. I don't know what it is, but it just makes people's physique crazy.
I had a gym teacher, and he was also the baseball coach. So he grew up out in the country. He was a dad, but he's also a former Major League Baseball player. Okay. And he was older at the time, and we were in gym class, and 2 football players who were like best friends were getting into it. I can't even remember what caused it, but they got into like a fist fight right in the middle of the gym class. He walked over, and at this time, this man is into his 60s. Okay. He walks over, and these are 2 high school football players. He grabs them by the back of their necks, picks them off the ground, and just sets them apart from each other like Thanos. Okay. I went to I ended up in the principal's office later that afternoon too for something unrelated to that incident. But those two guys were sitting in there, and they both had like little nicks on their face from their little scuffle. And I was like, man, you guys all right? And at this point, they're friends again. You know how stupid fights like that are when you're a teenager. And he was like, man, are you guys all right? They're like, yeah, everything's fine, but both of our necks are freaking killing us. Like he nearly broke our necks with just his finger strength. That's what happens.
If we were in a tag team wrestling match and I had to pick a partner and it was 19, 20-year-old, kid that plays football, or it's, 45-year-old ex-welder from Pulaski, Tennessee. I want the ex-welder, bro. I'm no lie. That dude is going to put in work. You're going to hit him. He's going to look at you and eat all of it.
It's like when you see pictures of like Charles Atlas during the day and you're like, I mean, I guess he's in good shape. Like he certainly doesn't look like the strongest human ever to live. Like, but that he's got that old school, farm strength that, when America's like an agrarian society. And when it came to like settling disputes, you didn't go to court. You threw up your dukes, but you fought underhand like this, like old timey boxing. You settle things the old fashioned way with an old timey boxing match,
That's it. All that because Derek is wearing a tank top. And
we got to the bottom of it.
We made it. We figured it out.
Armstrong. Growing up in the church helps too, because you got all the setup and tear down like a youth group. You got all the folding chairs you got to carry at once. And you kind of want to impress that cute girl, so you want to get like 10 chairs, like you want to.
Do you guys remember on ESPN2 back in the day, just on a Saturday afternoon, they have the world's strongest man competitions?
Yeah, of course.
And it's just these
during the pandemic, that's all they played.
Yeah,
like they still are doing it.
It's like these weird Nordic guys named like Franz Eldrick and stuff, and they just and all they do is lift giant stone balls and just walk with them. The church equivalent of that is how many folding chairs you can get under each arm. And I've seen elders. Okay. And I mean like title elder, but they're also elderly in 3-piece suits on a hot summer day, tearing down after a combined service. And they are shaking under the weight, but their arms are fully extended. They got 15 fold up chairs on each arm, and they are not going to show you weakness. They are sending a message. I'm an elder for a reason.
It was a flex though. Whoever could carry the most chairs is kind of like
without pinching your fingers too. You're going to get your fingers all pinched in it.
Absolutely.
You look down your nose at the person who's got like 2 chairs. Like, what are you even doing for the Lord?
The two worst pains.
What are you doing for the Lord?
2 of the worst pains you can feel. I've experienced it. One in the church, which is carrying the chairs and your fingers getting jammed in that cold metal. The 2 is when I took a youth group kid razor scooter back in the day, and for some reason thought I could do like spin it under my legs. When that razor scooter hits your shin, there is no pain on earth like that. It is middle to shin
immediately
bone.
well up with water. Yeah.
All right, well, moving the show along. It is time for
It's the hot list. The hot list. It's sizzling.
It's time for the hot list. Our look at what's happening this week at the intersection of faith and culture. Welcome to the show, our senior editor, Tyler Huckabee. Hey, man.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Hey, Tyler.
So how many folding chairs could you carry in youth group?
I was the master. It's not just brute strength. I mean, you need to be strong, but it's not just brute strength. There's also, if you can stack them just right, you don't get the fingers between them.
You know who's laughing at that? You know who's laughing at that? Some guy named Brother Stevens, who's like in his 70s right now, listening at some old Baptist church. Oh, this kid thinks he can be.
This kid. That's fine. All right. So what's going on this week, Tyler?
Well, there's one big headline, and I know we all knew this was coming, so we got to talk.
It's a big headline in our world, not in the actual world.
It's a big headline in our world, but it did trend. He was the #1 trending topic on Monday, and of course I'm referring to our friend Jerry Falwell Jr., who is the president of Liberty University, the largest Christian university in the country, if not the world, and who has a habit of, when he appears on this show, it's usually not for something good. It's not that I'm opposed to writing good stories about Mr. Falwell. He just doesn't really offer them up very often.
We're just waiting for him to do something good.
I think I talked to both Derek and Jesse and, of course, Cameron about this separately, because this is such a weird thing. I'm sure most people are probably aware of the broad strokes, but we'll try to get into what we do know. And it's a little bit of a visual slice, but late Sunday.
Just remember that Jamie's son is listening, so keep it safe for the
I already
little
told
ears.
him all about this. We talked about this last night.
So you had the talk.
I had to talk about Jerry Falwell last night with my son. Yep.
Scary Jerry was not worried about Jamie's son when he took this picture. So we about to go there, buddy.
My retinas have been burned by this photo. All right, go ahead.
I wasn't even sure if it was right to post it on the site. I was like, can kids come to this website? I don't know if we can do it, but it's there. I did do it. Journalistic diligence. So late Sunday, a bizarre vacation photo from Mr. Fall was posted and then deleted. It was captured by Robert Downen of the Houston Chronicle, which featured the president of the country's largest Christian university with his pants unzipped, his shirt hiked up, standing next to a woman identified only as a friend.
You should mention, too, her shirt is up and her pants are undone as well.
That is true. And I feel, we'll get into the rest of this.
Oh, I don't mean to bash her. I'm just saying to get the whole picture.
But
everybody has their pants undone.
Everybody
his arm is
crystallized
around
this image for you. He is Falwell is holding a glass of something that he identifies in the caption as black water.
Of course.
That's what he calls it.
Who hasn't enjoyed a nice cold glass of black water on the rocks here and there?
Hey, look, I'm gonna keep it gangster, bro. That gotta be some rich white people stuff. If it's black water, they don't have. If the water is black in Flint, don't drink it.
Jerry Falwell's out there living in 2025.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds like a Tom Haverford liquor, like snake juice and black water. You know?
And isn't that peak Southern Baptist energy to post a photo like this and be most concerned about whether or not people think you're drinking? That feels like just enormous evangelical vibes. The photo sent off a fresh wave of criticism for the oft criticized influential evangelical. He was dinged as a disgrace on social media. And of course, it would be we would be remiss not to note here that, as pointed out by a number of alumni and current photo of Liberty policies, kind of an incredible number of Liberty rules were broken in a single Instagram post. We're talking about rules against drinking and tobacco use, of which there was a lot of in a video.
Because there was additionally a video, right, that went around that, aside from this photo, the video showed more people in this yacht that he was part of, and there was tobacco and liquor and
and black water.
Yeah.
No,
and
listen,
water.
you can listen. This is Christians, man. They are on this yacht party, pants unzipped, with black water, man. It's rich white people stuff, man. Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Keep going. I'm sorry, Taylor. Nothing to see here. Keep going, Tyler. I'm sorry.
I think one student put it like this on Twitter. She said, if you place Jerry in a vacuum, I don't give a whole hoot what he does with his free time, but policies backed by Jerry, signed off by Jerry, reflected on by Jerry are hurting real young people, while Jerry gets to claim religious political persecution on a yacht.
And breaking it down, which we do on our site and on our Instagram page, there is the rules violation. So if a student or faculty member is caught in a location with alcohol or tobacco, it's a $300 fine, 30 hours of community service, and possible expulsion from the school. If you're caught in any state of undress,
any age.
Any age.
You can, whether you're drinking age or not, the fine stands the same.
And this is for faculty as well. And if you're caught in any stage of undress with a member of the opposite sex, which in this photo they are, it's a $150 fine and 15 hours of community service. And we break down all the and we show the Liberty Handbook that spells out all of these rules that this one photo, this one yacht party violated, and including being in a location where alcohol is even being served is a violation.
But Blackwater is not in the book, and I read it very carefully. So
that was the thing that was just like the lack of judgment and posting this photo. And this is not a photo that like got leaked, everybody. I want you to be clear. He posted it on his Facebook or in his Instagram account.
It was a drunk post. My man that man was lit. He said, yo, get a load of this. And let that mug fly.
How long was the post live?
I really don't know.
Okay.
It was deleted after a screenshot was captured by the faith reporter at the Chronicle, Robert Downing.
No. The person who got the screenshot actually commented on our Instagram and said, how is my photo showing up everywhere? He screenshotted it when the photo had 17 likes and he put it in a group chat, he said. And then people in his group chat started sharing it.
Oh,
and it got to the faith reporter and all that stuff. The kid's on our Instagram comments. So, yeah, I mean, the kid who screenshotted it. Yeah.
And it has been confirmed. At first, there was some speculation. One member of the Falkirk Center, which is the conservative think tank that Falwell started with Charlie Kirk, who's the founder.
I love that they named it after themselves. Like they just made, like, what should we call our conservative think tank? I don't know. Like, what's something that really speaks to the values that we want to talk to? It's a think tank about good American Christian values. I know a portmanteau of both of our names, Falkirk. You know what I mean? Like, how humble. And also, by the way, not to digress, but I've noted this several times, and I've said it on this podcast, and and Tyler, I know we've covered on the site. Both the Falkirk Institute and Jerry Falwell Jr. have, with some regularity, tweeted, controversial, at times inflammatory quotes about social issues and attributed them to people who never said them. It's like immigration is something that needs to be looked at, and we need to build the wall. Benjamin Franklin. It's like, I don't think he said that, man.
And you were on that beat pretty hard back in the reporting days, Jesse. I seem to recall that you caught the Falkirk Center a number of inflammatory.
And I also gave them an opportunity, as I did Liberty, to comment or correct or just take down the false tweets, which they chose not to respond. Which in this case seems to be somewhat of their strategy. Let's just do something weird and objectionable, and then just not acknowledge that it happened.
And that's the thing too.
There's no statement here.
Yeah, there's been no statement. And Tyler, you have reached out for comment a number of times this week, and it's just been.
They have not said a thing about it.
No,
it was deleted with nothing from Liberty.
It just, the thing is like he operates, and this obviously isn't the first time. I mean, there's been videos and photos of him partying at nightclubs on South Beach and different things like that also are in violation and just an odd look. Yeah. Live nightclub where like the Heat went to party their championship. Like
he was at Club Live.
Yeah, man. And so like
was out there. Did he have a gold chain and gold teeth on? Was he smoking a blunt, bro? My man out here with Rick Ross and Lil Wayne out here going crazy.
That happened like a year or so ago, and he denied ever being there. And then like somebody from the nightclub, they take photos at nightclubs. So they just went through the night and they found the crowd shots and then released them and pointed out the Falwells. Like,
and doesn't he always say like it was photoshopped or something? Like he'll claim it was photoshopped.
It was photoshopped.
Jerry, listen. This is a public service announcement to Jerry. Listen, bro. I'm a rapper, bro. Let's get your rap career popping, bro. My man is at Club Live getting bottle service with bottle girls, gold bottles with the sparklers. Take me with you, bro. We can go out here. We can live it up. I'm going to get your album. We going to name that mug Do As I Say, Not As I Do. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a fire album. Let's go, bro. 808s for days.
And I think
but in all seriousness, how will this university keep continuing to draw students there when this is what's happening with their
free
president?
Tickets to Club Live. What are you talking about? That's all right. If he could spin this, bro. Like, listen, if you sign up for Liberty University, I'm giving everybody gold bottles with sparklers. Period. And we all go take a trip to Miami.
The comments that have happened this week, to answer your question, Jamie, that we've seen on our Instagram conversation, Facebook conversations, there's a lot of former students and current students that have, that are obviously affected by things like this. And there's two camps that I've observed, and this is just anecdotal, but I've observed there's the camp of, I had a great education and experience at Liberty, and what our president is doing is damaging my degree and my ability to, be a proud alumnus. And so there's people who are trying to separate Falwell as a person from the institution and say the institution's good. Can we acknowledge that? Then there's people, much like Trump followers, that look at these actions and just go, he's untouchable. He's a man of God. Who cares? Like, quit your criticism. And like, he's ordained to be there. He can do what he wants. I don't care. And they're defending him.
My issue is this. I'm like, look, there is zero things wrong having a drink with a friend on a yacht. Now, the pants unzip thing, man, all right. I mean, that looks like was it as good for you as it was for me moment, but I'm not gonna judge. It's a photo. But the issue here is not the fact that what he has done is particularly wrong. It's the level of judgment for people fighting for social justice and, they're just some gangsters and they have loose morals and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you set a standard that your students, they can't, even if they're legal drinking age, they can't drink. They can't be seen with a girl unless, they got on pilgrim outfits or whatever. Like, it's like you set up this hard line of legalism that you don't live up to. Like, it's like, bro, listen, man, if it's not bad and you're out there doing it, just lower the bar. Just say, hey guys, look, I was wrong. I was super legalistic. We set these rules up. This is not necessarily Christian rules. These were taboo or whatever. And we're going to get rid of these taboos. And man, live your doggone life, man. Like, it's nothing wrong. The fact that you have to lie about drinking, having a drink with a friend of the opposite sex, goes to show you set up a toxic culture for yourself. And that's the reason why it's not, people aren't downing them because, he made a mistake. They're down on them because, bro, you being a hypocrite. Just keep it real. That's the issue.
And I think too, even if I was to play like devil's advocate here, it appeared like the picture originated from a party that, it looks like there was another Instagram an IG stories video that was making the rounds that it showed that, it looked like what was happening on the yacht that night were friends and family of Jerry Falwell were having like a themed party on the show Trailer Park Boys, right, which is, absolutely. And at one point Falwell's character, was dressed like Julian in the show, which is a black t-shirt, black jeans, and he's always carrying around a rum and coke. Right. Other people at the party were dressed up like characters from the show Trailer Park Boys. So like, even it doesn't explain why he has his pants unzipped, which is another element of
that's
just
not a Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah,
that's the one.
To my knowledge, that's not a reference. But I will say, I think, Derek, you're making the ultimate point here is that, like, so even if we were to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? And say like, okay, well, he's just having a drink at a party. It's a goofy theme party. I understand, you're just trying to, play into how goofy these characters are. It's the same thing to an extent of him, trying to make, fun of the governor of Virginia's past racism by putting by saying, hey, I'm going to show everyone how much I hate the governor by putting this picture of him, allegedly of Ralph Northam in blackface with someone in the KKK. On the cover of a face mask. And I'm doing this to showcase what a hypocrite he is. It doesn't, all that really doesn't matter. It's a profound lack of judgment. And, I saw someone else say, even if the context is some just weird party, like think about how many people in, his part of Virginia. I live in Virginia. I'm familiar with the Lynchburg area. There are a lot of people who live in poverty, and living in a trailer park isn't necessarily something that I think that a lot of people in that part of the country would find to be something that they would like to be made light of by someone who's rich and wealthy on a yacht.
Right.
There's no other college. I can't think of one other college president that would do something like this, that would demonstrate this lack of basic judgment.
It's frat boy level. It's really
and expect to keep his job.
It is. And it's the I'm untouchable level too. It doesn't matter what I put up or what I do. No one can hold me accountable. And I'm thinking here as a parent of a child who is, 2 years away from going to college, there's no way in, I would not send my kids there.
No.
I don't care how good of a school is. I don't like it, that attitude of I can do whatever I want and nobody cares. That is not who I want leading my kids.
It's hypocritical. And even Jesse, if we took the train of thought you were bringing up earlier about, okay, say it's just a party and it is Trailer Park Boys. I've seen some Trailer Park Boys episodes. It's a very funny, weirdish show. But the idea of this for me, say I'm a student at Liberty and I post that picture, would that excuse work for me?
No way.
No, you're out.
If they bring me, if I post that picture, I'm talking about not the person with all the social equity, like a sports player that we want there. I'm talking about the person no one knows. It's just random. This random picture popped up, and you could kick me out for no reason, whatever. Would that stand up in front of the people there? And the answer we all know, it's no. So I'm like that's the hypocritical part about it. It's like, man, either man, come back to earth and get off of your hypocritical horse and let people live their lives, or just keep living this lie, or keep living this. I'm not gonna say he's living a lie. I don't know the guy, but that's why I'm saying that's the reason why people are upset, because it's a prime level of hypocrisy for sure.
Can I want to veer this. So what is, obviously there's a big cancel culture movement right now. I mean, you can see it happening with Ellen right now, and just go down the list. And some of the people in our comments were kind of bristling about that. Like, oh, okay, so we have to cancel Liberty now. Okay, we have to cancel Jerry. That's what you're saying. What are y'all's thoughts on how do we hold Christian leaders accountable, to a standard that, they set, without it just being mob mentality cancel culture, though? You know what I mean?
I think I'll answer that, because I just said I wouldn't send my kids there. So that feels like cancel culture for sure. But here's what bothers me about this.
That's an individual decision. You're not going out there telling everybody.
That's true. But Liberty University is marked off the list in my mind. It wasn't on the list, but whatever. I think one of the things that I see here is the problem with Jerry. What's going on here is this is not the first thing we're seeing. So it's not like, oh my gosh, you made a mistake and now we're just done with you. But we've seen lots of mistakes happen in the past, even just 6 months with him. And just when you guys told me there's been no explanation for this or no conversation about this. So that means there's no oh my gosh, I did something wrong. I'm sorry, man, I represent this university and this is not the way I want to represent a university. None of that's been said. And so I think that I think he needs to be held accountable. He's the president of the largest Christian university in the country, maybe the world. There has to be accountability there. And I don't know why there's not a board of trustees holding him accountable.
Because the money. I mean, that's it. It's the most successful Christian university and it continues to thrive. And a board of trustees is not going to remove something that's going well.
Which is my question of, is it going to continue to thrive? We saw the athletes leave earlier in the year when they're like, hey, we're not going to be a part of this.
But this, like Jesse pointed out and stuff, this has been going on for years. Maybe not this yacht party thing, but this has been going on for years. And it's continuing to thrive.
But let's keep it gangster. Let's keep it real. Matthew 7:1-3. Judge not that you not be judged. Here's verse 2. So everybody uses that one. Everybody forgets verse 2. For the judgment you pronounce will be judged, and the measure you use it will be measured to you. And that's what's happening here. Now, it'd be different if Jerry was just the most gracious guy when people make mistakes, or he's like, he's so empathetic. And it's like, it's like, yeah, that's when it's like, all right, y'all are tripping on this cancel culture thing. This is not cancel culture as much as it is reaping what you sow. It's like this guy, anybody that doesn't line up with his views, that has a level of platform, he has zero problem with tearing them down. And whole groups of people that don't think like him, he has zero problems with that. So the problem when you do that is when it's your turn, there's no mercy. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing.
I'll be honest, this week when we were covering it, Tyler's been covering our actual reporting on the site and other social media platforms, but then I've been posting this stuff on Instagram. So I've been seeing that conversation more closely. And I'll be honest with you, I got emails this week from people to me saying, how dare you criticize Jerry Falwell when last fall you were criticized for your actions? Like, how dare you hold somebody else or publicly blah, blah, blah. And I've been thinking about that because my response was, number one, I didn't know that I caused that hurt. I addressed the hurt. I wanted to get better. So I went on sabbatical. I wanted Relevant to be better. Like, we addressed it substantively. I appointed accountability over me to, everything I could do to grow from the experience I did. And to me, that's where I'm seeing the opposite reaction from some leaders. We're like, this is problematic. And then they just try to sweep it under the rug. Like, I'm untouchable. And that's like, and so to me, like, I even asked some of the staff, like, do I have a right? Do we have a right to actually even talk about Jerry? like, is this person who just emailed me correct? And some of the staff said, no, this is different. I don't know. I've just been on my mind.
Of course you do. If anyone has just because you make a mistake doesn't take away your voice. And I don't know why we live in this world that makes us think that if you find out tomorrow that, Jamie did something awful and she's repented and apologized and said she's sorry. Yeah, it's like
nothing.
What? Like, why would it's like, okay, well, you made one mistake. You've lived your whole life. You made one very, very bad mistake. And whether you get help or not, you're disqualified from ever commenting on anything ever again. If you could show me a scripture that backs that up for the Christians, I'll eat my words for sure. I'll put it on a piece of paper and eat it myself. But I don't think that's how things work, because all of us are going to make mistakes. The issue's not the mistake. Even if it's not really an actual mistake or the optics, the issue is the repentance that goes along with it. Are you sorry? That's
exactly right. Yeah. And unfortunately for public figures, you have to do that publicly.
Yeah.
For sure. You're a public figure.
And two, like, I think there's a proportionality that people need to keep in mind too. When we talk about cancel culture, because part of me is like, dude, not to when there are powerful people that have done bad things that and we saw this in the Me Too movement, that got away with it for a long time. And it's about effing time that
Jamie, tell your kid to mute it right now.
that they should be held accountable for abusing their power and destroying lives, right? There's a difference between that and then someone, making some dumb joke on Twitter that, was probably offensive and they shouldn't say, but they correct themselves. So I think proportionality kind of needs to play into it. I think there is a degree of grace that needs to come when someone acknowledges that they messed up and wants to try to make it right. But two, the thing with this particular incident is like, it's funny, right? I mean, like, listen, this is a victimless action. Like, Liberty students might feel like they're victimized because they're held to a different standard than the president, but this isn't a case where he's out there destroying people's lives. You know what I mean? And so I do think it's worthy to talk about.
So what's the goal then of even us talking about it? Is it that we want him to, like what Derek was saying, just say, hey, listen, maybe I'm trying to hold our faculty and students up to a standard that I don't. So maybe we need to just all relax a little bit. Or Are we trying to say like, Jerry, hold yourself to your own standard?
Yeah.
Or like what? My thing is like, yes, it's funny and it's weird and whatever, but it's almost like, what do we want to see the positive outcome be here? You know, is it like we just want an apology from them, or do we want change?
I think in this case in particular, I think, Jamie kind of hit the nail on the head in that he's a public figure, and that makes this newsworthy. Whether he likes that or not, and whether this isn't some foreign concept that, people with, greater resources and a bigger platform are held to a higher standard. It's a biblical concept. Too much is given, much is required. Okay. Like that is something if he didn't want to be president of a university and he wants to go party on yachts all the time, that's cool, and no one would probably even care. You know what I mean?
He gets to do both. Why would he get on pick? He gets to do both.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, if there's like another, I think he has siblings. If there's like another Falwell family member who is out partying on a yacht and takes a goofy picture at a costume party that's a little raunchy, who cares? Nobody. Because that person didn't put themselves in a position to be the moral authority over other Christians. Young Christians, and that's that's where it's like, okay, that's where this is a problem. That's why we need to talk about it. And in terms of determining a course of correction, that's not our job. That's Liberty's job. Our job is to get them to at least acknowledge it. And if they're refusing to even acknowledge it, then that is now part of the story. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And that part, not to make this about us, but like that part does actually relate to what we experienced last fall. It's like, it was brought to our attention and Relevant had to respond. That there's a toxic environment there, poor leadership there, and Relevant had to deal with it. And guess what? We did. Right. And
I ain't gonna even lie. I'm just trying to get these jokes off, bro. Like, at the end of the day, man, this man is grown, so he go do what he gonna do. I just think it's crazy, hypocritical and funny. Yeah. So it's like, I'm trying to get these jokes off. Listen, man, people do what they want. So
I think he needs a social media manager, because this also was posted. Y'all can't see it, but this also was posted in his fun family pics weekend.
Yeah,
it's an accidental selfie from below. Why is he posting this on his Instagram?
Hey, look, and we got a marketing team at Reflection Music Group, so you can add producer, rapper, entrepreneur, social media manager to my intro. Derek. I got him. I got you, baby.
And I'll just say, the one other thing too that makes this like funny and newsworthy is that this is a cell phone. Like, this isn't like, okay, for like him at the nightclub.
That was outage.
Okay, so like someone taking pictures of Jerry Falwell and his family at a Miami nightclub, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, yes, look, he's a grown man. That's his own time. If he wants to go to a nightclub, do it. I don't really care. Like, the fact that he denied it was him and suggested it was Photoshop, that made it newsworthy.
As if we're all dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
But this is the point of him saying, feeling like he is so untouchable that he can post these pictures himself on his own Instagram profile. Right. That's the other element. It's like, dude, what are you trying? What is the point of this here?
He was lit, man. Let that man live.
Yeah, the face was a little puffy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, he was lit. I know a drunk face. That's a drunk face.
I'm not gonna judge. And the other thing is, I don't care. You know what I mean? Facts. Like I said, he's a grown man, and to my knowledge, I don't know if he's under the Liberty Honor Code. But what makes this is something that we have to care about is that he seems to be like flaunting a lifestyle that he actively profits from disparaging, right? Wow. I mean, if he wasn't lining his pockets with money from parents who send their kids to a school because they think that the administration of that school will deter their students from living a certain type of lifestyle, my thoughts on that lifestyle don't really matter, because he's showing, I'm willing to take the money, but I'm also going to show that I don't really care about those moral standards.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And this is, y'all can let Jerry know this. Jerry, with what I've seen with the Club Live and like the yacht party, and bro, I'm willing, and you need social media marketing. bro, I'll sign you to a 1-album deal to Reflection Music.
Please do
and
this.
we'll get your marketing together, bro. We will get
If
your
this
album,
happened,
bro.
look
Listen,
at this.
I got them. Look, I'll even write your lyrics for you, bro. All you gotta do is just cut me one of them checks. One of them Liberty checks. I got you, baby. I'm watching.
I know
out,
we've got Liberty faculty and staff who listen to the podcast. I know for a fact. So this can easily. You heard Derek.
Look, Jerry,
you all run from there.
I got you, bro. Listen, man. I'm gonna have you the coldest rapper on ever, bro. They gonna be like, Jerry got bars. Trust me, man. Come on, mess with your boy.
When Derek says that he's just into this story for the jokes, let me just tell the listener this: we have a group chat with all of us, right? Derek hasn't brought those jokes to the group chat. Those are one-on-one jokes. Like he's contacting each of us individually because this is not safe. He doesn't know how it's going to play with Jamie. So he's just hitting us all up individually.
I'm here, guys. I'm here for the jokes. Y'all, I'm sorry. I am in a rabbit hole, Tyler, with
no.
Mr.
Don't go down.
Falwell Instagram.
That's a slippery slope. We lost her.
Oh, I'm out.
Editorially, I do want to say with regards to I got a lot of thoughts on cancel culture, and I can't speak for the culture at large, obviously, but I can say if Falwell or Liberty issues a statement, apologizes, asks for grace and forgiveness, we will be the first to run it. Like, it is not my goal to just post bad news about anybody. I got no skin in the game. I didn't go to Liberty. I'm not. They're not my enemies. So I want people to do well and be I want for the biggest Christian university in the country to be a cool place for people to go and actualize their relationship with God in new and exciting ways. And if Liberty wants to take me up on the request for comment, then I would love to see it. We will absolutely run it.
That's absolutely right.
Not trying to get them canceled.
The tough thing, I mean, we've seen it firsthand, is, there's certain media that isn't as fair-minded as what you're talking about, Tyler, where they want the salacious headline and they give one side of the story the attention and they don't give equal attention to the other perspective and they move on, but what you're saying is absolutely right. That's our commitment to any story. We're going to try and tell the full story. And if something's problematic, we want you to be able to address it. And if you don't want to address it and just leave it out there, then we're going to leave it out there. So
I'm going to get these jokes off.
It's one-on-one jokes.
That's the other thing.
That's the other thing. Sides.
I have complicated and nuanced feelings about cancel culture. I have very uncomplicated feelings about hilarious pictures on the internet. So,
yes.
Where they happen to be a Venn diagram, there's a point of intersection. It just happens. But my love for hilarious pictures on the internet outweighs the other thoughts.
I kind of wanted to do an oral history of this photo, like breaking down all the elements of it, and
Jamie, the look on your face right now, I can't tell is
I just found another photo, guys. Just another photo of him holding two cheerleaders on his shoulders. Okay, here we go. I'm out.
I think we covered that one too.
Hey,
there you go.
If you want to really lose your day, go to his account profile and click on who he's following. He's following 854 people. That's a fun little scan.
Okay.
To see.
Hey, look, and I don't know
he's
if I'm
following
supposed to
Derek
say this.
Minor.
Nah, but listen, I'm trying to tell him I'm gonna get him turned up all the way. But somebody said he following people on OnlyFans accounts.
Hey,
So
listen,
I don't know
his
if that's real
first
or
single,
not.
Derek, is Dark Water.
I took a sip of that dark water. Ooh, I took a sip of that dark water. It heavy lit. Ooh, hey, that's going down.
I get some of that right. You better put my name on that as a writer. There you go.
We're gonna feature you on it, Jamie. You gonna come here popping lipstick.
Derek,
Jamie.
Do you know that nothing would make me happier if somehow he got a hold of this recording and was like, that's the only way to spin this is to make it in on the joke. And he calls you up. He's like, let's do that dark water. That is fire. Give me that dark water fire.
And you shoot the video like one of those Puff Daddy Hype Williams yacht videos back in the day.
No, we shoot it at Club Live, dog.
All right, Tyler, what else we got going on this week?
That was probably the longest conversation we'll have of all all of these, I would imagine. But we'll see. You never know. It's Wednesday. We're in pandemic season. We don't have a lot going on. I do want to talk about this was an interesting move, and I want to see how you all feel about this. You may have seen some of this news when it came up on Tuesday, but Disney announced on a call to shareholders that its tentpole of the summer, the movie that was going to carry them through the summer, Mulan, the live action remake of Mulan, is going to be released on Disney Plus. Instead of going into theaters, it'll be on Disney Plus for $30 here in the US. Disney Plus subscribers.
And
it will not be released, at least immediately, it will not be released to any other places. So you'll have to have a Disney Plus account, and you'll have to pay $30
you get it forever.
For it. It's a rental.
It's a rental.
It's a rental?
Oh.
Yeah, that is a rental.
Like going to the theater. Yeah.
It's like going to the theaters for your whole household, and anybody else who comes over, you'll watch it for $30.
So like Trolls came out and some other big ones came out, and they did that rental thing, but they rented it everywhere. It was on Apple TV. It was on Amazon Prime. It was everywhere, and it was instead of the theaters, and you had to pay, I think it was like $10 or something like that, and you could rent Trolls. And because we did, my kid wanted to see it. And this is so bizarre to me. If they're trying to make the most money possible, that they're not doing that. They're not charging $30 to rent it everywhere. It's you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber to even be able to give them $30. That makes no sense to me from a business perspective, Yeah. And then where'd they come up with $30 from? I get it. Maybe a parent and a couple kids are going to watch it, but like, that just seems crazy. Like,
that's
why would you
discount
it?
I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay $30 for it because it's just me, my wife, and the dog in this house. But if you've got a couple of kids who want to watch it, then $30 is a lot cheaper day than the movie theater.
So
than you're
let's
used
say
to.
if I'm trying to make the most money possible, I'll charge $30 on Amazon, on Apple, everywhere else. But if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, you can get it for $12. You know what I mean?
Right,
so then I'm going to go, I'll come over and become a customer every month. I'll give you money, right?
Yeah,
I mean, why would they do this? This is so strange to me. And it's like tucked into the news that like last week, the movie industry had kind of a big deal between one of the major chains and one of the major studios, right, Tyler?
That's right. Yeah, they announced that at least in the coming future, a couple of studios are going to be shortening their release window between the time a movie comes to theaters and is released on demand and for purchase to 2 weeks. To 15 days. So that, which is a huge, so you're basically paying for a short privilege of seeing it on the big screen first ahead of time, which leads to some speculation that the movie theater maybe moving forward is going to be more of a boutique experience, that it's not going to be, there might be some movies like Tenet, which was obviously shot by Christopher Nolan for the express purpose of being seen in this big theater type environment. But for a lot of movies that you don't necessarily need that sort of experience, you'll have that option, and at least until we know more about what the movie theater industry is going to look like in 2021, that's a real possibility that we may not experience movie theaters in the same way ever again that we used to.
Hold up. Don't think I done forgot. Jamie?
Y'all know I told y'all last week my son got a job at the movie theater.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So tickets are $5 each. So it's a lot cheaper.
Wait, is he like at a dollar theater? Or is he like...
No, it's a regular theater, but they're only showing old movies.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so there's no new
like
movies.
Toy Story 2 or something.
So guys, don't be mad at me. And if you send emails, send them to Cameron at relevant something. But
I get him.
I went and saw 2 movies this weekend. I had a mask on the whole time.
How'd you eat popcorn?
Okay, so when I was eating popcorn, I took my mask off.
Hey, Jamie, I don't judge.
Listen,
I don't judge.
I didn't cough. I saw Dark Knight and Jurassic World, 2 movies I've never seen, and I loved them both.
You've never seen Dark Knight?
Wait, is that more surprising that I went to the movie theater?
Jurassic World, I understand. People missed Jurassic World. You never saw The Dark Knight till last
I've seen
week?
pieces of it because it's my son's favorite movie. He wants to be a filmmaker.
Sure.
Christopher Nolan's his favorite person. So it's his favorite movie in the entire world. And so he watches it a lot. I've seen a part of it, but I'd never seen it entire, and I loved it.
Fantastic.
Never seen Heath Ledger. You never. This was your first time.
No, I've seen pieces of it. I just hadn't seen the whole thing.
Yo, she just discovered T.I., so you got to remember that.
Jamie, if your son also wants to discuss the work of Christopher Nolan, particularly Dark Knight, it's a topic I love. He is deeply.
I mean, last week was Christopher Nolan's birthday. I don't know if you knew that. We knew it at our house.
Yeah.
Because Caden's in.
and I'm
Did you have
sure
a moment of silence. How did you celebrate it in some way?
Well, he's alive.
We just all toasted him. Yeah, he's here.
Wait, he died? No, I'm sure they're eagerly awaiting Tenet as well. But yeah, Dark Knight is one of the, I think it's the most important post 9/11 American film since then, because it speaks to the moral complexities of dealing with, villains that you don't understand their motives, and the willingness to compromise your own morality for what you perceive as the greater good.
Are we talking about Jerry Falwell again?
Yeah, exactly. This boat party got real wild.
Okay, so besides all that, I went to the movie theater. They took my temperature when I came in, and Kate and my son said they spray down every seat after it's done, and you can't buy tickets online. You have to buy them when you get there.
Still, but just a different
hopefully
kind of
it
moist.
dries before you get there. But you have to buy tickets when you get there because they spread them apart. I mean, in one theater, there were 3 other people in the movie with us, so it's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not judging at all.
I'm right there with you because I'm going to theme parks, so I'm good. You're good.
Yeah, half this podcast is in a lot of trouble.
I'm telling you.
I still get a little sketched out going. I spent I don't know, maybe I spent longer than I ever have in my life at a Home Depot last weekend. But that's not saying a lot. I think the most I ever did was one time it was 12 minutes just because I couldn't find the right size bolt for my dad's project or whatever. But even there, I was I feel like we've been in here too long. We got to get, everyone's masked up and doing their thing. But even then I was I don't know. But all it's to say is I don't see how being in a basically empty movie theater that's been sanitized, if you're taking the proper precautions, is any more dangerous than going to the drugstore to pick up a prescription or something.
It's all so hard. Everything's difficult.
I'm not trying to sit in no soggy movie theater chair and watch movies from 2012. I'm just
but I never seen it.
Dark Knight on the big screen is probably pretty fun. To watch
absolutely.
Dark Knight on the big screen again is pretty fun. I would probably... I would $5 is a good deal.
I was wondering when the moment would be when you guys discovered we're not quite sure why we invited Jamie on this podcast. We talk about culture and current events. This might have just been it. I've been hiding it from you guys the whole time, but this was it.
I love it. I feel like I'm corrupting you.
Anytime you want to talk Batman, Jamie, you got my number.
Do you still have that Batman tattoo? Did you get it covered up? Do you still have that Batman tattoo?
I got a Marvel tattoo, baby.
Oh, that's
Marvel
right.
Marvel to my bones.
That's right. You're not a DC guy.
I can't just be switching sides just because they have one good superhero at DC.
No, he's not one. He's the greatest. He
is the best one.
He is the best one. Look, DC.
They got it right one time.
What Superman is that dude too? He's just not really good on the film side.
Yeah.
The movies haven't been good, but I do like Superman.
Yeah.
Tyler knows I'm not into the superhero thing at all. The comic book thing. If you have to suspend belief in reality and that person's going to fly or that person has this power, that's just silly to me. But that's why the only one I like is the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, like that, because it's rooted in a believable reality that has, not people flying. It's like I can wrap my head around it, and I like it. So I'm with you, Batman.
You just don't have any imagination. But listen, man.
Thank you, Derek. I knew Derek would have my back on this.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Derek and I have been recommending shows to each other, and he recommended a superhero show to me the other night, and he was like, "No,
the boys."
He's like, "You like it because it's flawed and whatever."
Good.
And I'm like, I watched it. I watched the first episode, and I'm texting. I was like, "Man, I'm trying to like this a lot more than I do because people are still flying. I'm just not buying it that they exist."
Now, when I get my jetpack or when I put a superhero serum in my body with this country strength, and I become the Black Superman, I want to hear nothing. First thing I'm doing is superhero dropping from the sky with my knee into your living room. That's the first thing I'm doing.
Oh yeah, I would watch that. All right, what else you got, Tyler?
All right. So the last story today, and this is a tough one to report on because by the time you all hear this, you're going to know more about it than we do. But we do want to bring up the tragedy that took place in Beirut on Tuesday. There was some sort of, there's still a lot we don't know right now. We're aware of a huge explosion that apparently involved some explosive materials that were being held down by a port that has resulted in, and right now confirmed, we have 50 deaths and thousands of injured, at least 3,000 injured right now for sure. That number is sure to climb by the time that you have all heard this, and the videos and photos are obviously really, really shocking and coming out of that. Over at the relevantmagazine.com, put together a list of trusted organizations that already have boots on the ground out there. If you want to get involved, I hope you'll go check that out. Obviously, our friends over at Preemptive Love, who have been involved in Lebanon for a long time, they're already there doing good work. You can find a link to donate to them if you'd like to. Same thing with World Vision. I was talking to somebody at World Vision today. They're out there as well. And those are two organizations that we have a long history of working with and like them and believe in them. So we will be obviously praying for them. And we hope that you are praying too and give as you're able. And for anybody over there in Lebanon who's listening to this, you're obviously in our prayers as well too.
Just Tyler, we're recording this on Wednesday, and the numbers already doubled to 100 people, more than 100 people killed, and over 4,000 injured. Seriously, the blast was felt over 150 miles away in Cyprus. I mean, it's like that massive of an explosion. I've been to Beirut with World Vision. We were there. World Vision Lebanon is doing a lot with Syrian refugees because the border, the Bekaa Valley, is where a lot of Syrian refugees are coming out and camping in and just
a fifth of the population in Beirut is refugee population.
Yeah.
It's a huge refugee population.
So I was there a couple of years ago, just like learning about the refugee crisis and stuff. And we were based in Beirut, and it's a beautiful cosmopolitan city, and it's completely leveled right now. If you've seen the photos, I mean, it's gone. I mean, it's unbelievable, the damage, and it's heartbreaking. But World Vision Lebanon is doing great work there, and they'd be worth donating to, and Preemptive Love. And like you said, there's a list of a lot of like local Lebanese relief aid organizations that are at relevantmagazine.com. So go check it out and give if you can, because there's going to be a long road to rebuild that area. So
they're also going through a COVID spike right now. So things were already in pretty dire straits. There was already a food shortage down there. The city's last grain silo did blow up in the explosion. So the road that they're facing is something that a lot of us in the West probably can't really imagine.
I mean, and then think about the tens of thousands of Syrian refugees that are living in tents in the outlying areas around Beirut that are barely clinging to life themselves. I mean, no food, they can't have jobs, they can't have education for their kids, and they're just trapped. And now they're trapped in an area that's been obliterated. So I mean, it's a widespread disaster.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and we'll obviously be continuing to cover that as we do learn more. And by the time that this podcast comes out, when you head over to the website, we'll have updated information and more on the organizations, and hopefully we're trying to get interviews lined up with people who are there on the ground, so we can hear more about some of the relief efforts and better, more effective ways for you to get involved strategically with whatever resources you do have.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap up the hot list, but I don't want to play the jingle because that's a weird shift of tone. So stay tuned. Up next, Cory Asbury joins us.
She just said, is it true? Is it true? Tell me now. It's a promise I can't make, and I won't let it be. Was I in some kind of mood? I don't know. I don't care. I was sleeping in my room. Here I am, back again. She's in my
You're listening to Tame Impala. The song is It True? Well, this week's episode is brought to you by Bombas. Bombas makes the most comfortable socks in the history of feet. They've reimagined every little detail of the socks we wear every day to make them way more comfortable. I wear them every day, actually. I love my Bombas. They have a variety of styles to choose from. The material is amazing, and they go beyond the purpose of just keeping your feet cozy. For every pair of socks you purchase, Bombas donates a pair to someone in need. The generosity of Bombas customers has allowed them to donate over 34 million pairs of socks and counting through their nationwide network of 3,000 giving partners. To those experiencing homelessness, these socks are a small comfort that make a big difference. Give a pair when you buy a pair and get 20% off your first purchase at bombas.com/relevant. That's BOMBAS.com/relevant for 20% off your first purchase. Bombas.com/relevant. Well, Cory Asbury is a singer and songwriter and actually a worship pastor at Radiant Church in Michigan. He probably most famously penned the 2018 hit Reckless Love, which if you attended a church that year, you heard. After that, it was so huge, his life got turned upside down, and he actually went away for a year and is only now coming back with a new album. Our very own Tyler Huckabee sat down with Cory to talk about that season away and about some of the unique stories behind this new project. Here's our conversation with Cory Asbury.
Canyons wide, oceans deep, can't contain all your love for me. No matter how high or far I reach, there's no end to your love for me.
Because of where many of the songs were written and the heart space and the head space that they came from, they felt like very sort of introspective, reevaluating, reassessing my life, and even going back to a lot of times myself as a kid, what I experienced as a young person, even as a young man, even as a boy. So I wanted the sound to kind of reflect that and even have like an 80s-ish vibe, because I was born in 85. So I wanted it to reflect that. So I kept using the word nostalgic. I even wanted like horns and stuff and a lot of, these sounds that conjure up real deep emotions.
'Cause you take good care of me. You take good care of me. You know what I need before I even ask a thing. And you hold me in your hands with a kindness that never ends. I'm carried in your love no matter what the future brings. Yeah, you take good care of me.
And then in 19, when we kind of let all that go, it felt like I got some space and could really sort of, again, like it was introspective in a way, going, okay, where am I failing? Where am I weak? Where am I vulnerable? Where am I falling short? And really just kind of be honest with myself first and then go, okay, I'm going to bring this to you, Father, like help me with this. Give me wisdom, speak it into this area. It was really good in just creating space in my head to think, to just ponder life and kids and joy and happiness and depression and all these things that we deal with as humans. It felt like I had some space to really process and to invite God into and speak into some stuff that I was dealing with and experiencing, and it was very helpful, actually.
And I believe in a river that never runs dry. Fears washed away in the waters of life. So no more playing it safe at the river's edge. I let go and I dive riding. I trade fear for faith and I learned to swim. Nothing to gain, nothing to lose.
There's a song about my dad that's just titled I'm Sorry that I have been trying to write for probably 7 or 8 years, and it has just eluded me. And I think part of it was where we were at with our relationship. My dad and I had a very strained relationship when I was a kid. All the way through, my teens and then probably early 20s, even really difficult relationship. We didn't connect. We're still not close. We're trying to work on that now and even communicate toward that end. But I've been trying to write this song that's basically an apology to my dad for my immaturity, my ignorance, my stupidity, you fill in the blank for the way that I was, especially as a teenager, the way that I pushed him away and just sort of despised his voice into my life for a number of reasons. But this song was tough to write, I think, just because it's such an emotional thing. It's such a deep feeling. It's when it's you and your dad for real, like there can be some baggage there. There can be some hurt, some wounds. And I think wading through that to say what I wanted to say was definitely difficult, and it took forever to write. And I'm very happy with it, and I'm very proud of it because of the healing that it's brought between my dad and I. I showed it to him when it was just like a little thing on my acoustic when I finally finished it. And it was incredible, man. And my mom and dad happened to be in town just right after I finished it. And I remember showing him, and he wept the entire time. I mean, it prompted all these, it was incredible. It prompted these conversations that brought so much healing just through a song, and it wasn't a song like, Holy Spirit, you're amazing, or like, Jesus, you're so worthy. It was the song to my dad and about our relationship. And it was incredible the way the Holy Spirit used it, even though it wasn't like a worship song,
Is this what growing up supposed to look like? Thought I'd be learning how to love instead. I've only learned to fight. But I was only trying to walk beside you. I guess my pride got in the way. But if I ever caused you pain, could I be the first to say that I'm sorry?
That was Cory Asbury. Make sure to check out his new album, To Love a Fool. It's out now.
Like, hello, hello, hello. How's my little lady in the New York snow? Yeah, he says I love you loads. We got her certified gambler messing with me. Hello, hello, hello. I got one foot in and one out the door. I think it's about time that I take control, 'cause I'm a certified gambler messing with me. Hello, hello, hello.
You're listening to Remy Wolf. The song is Hello, Hello, Hello. Hey, that's kind of like your intro, Jesse.
There it is.
Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, I have a story that involves someone most listeners are pretty familiar with, Mr. Elon Musk. He's been in the news a lot lately as Tesla becomes, I think it's right now, the most valuable car brand in the world. That stock price has propelled him onto the list of the most wealthy individuals on the planet. And he also was in the news this week because of some work with SpaceX, his rocket company, which is finding new ways not just to send rockets up to the International Space Station and beyond, but also to bring them back down, cutting costs dramatically. But this story,
did you see like last week, like in a day, his wealth went up like $3 billion, like just in a day. Like,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, he's there was a story this week that was, he's also pretty prolific and pretty controversial with Twitter. He likes to seemingly likes to troll people along with kind of including his business partners and stockholders at times. But this week he started discussing a project that he's working on because they actually listed a couple new job listings that he wants to find people to come work for his company. One of his other companies called Neuralink. Now, Neuralink is doing like Tesla and SpaceX is doing something really interesting. Basically, it is there's a lot of tech talk that I'm just going to avoid because if people want to do a deeper dive, they can hear from people engineers and science experts who are much more articulate in explaining some of the nuances of the technology. But essentially, he's working on technology that can be inserted into the brain and manipulate brain activity. And kind of the reason that he came up with this is because there's been a lot of dire warnings about AI technology, artificial intelligence, and how we are coming up soon on in a time when artificial intelligence, there's a high likelihood, if it keeps up at the pace that it's going now, will be smarter than humans. And so Elon Musk made the determination the only way that humans can keep up with artificial intelligence is somehow like kind of hacking our own systems using technology. So what Neuralink wants to do is have these kind of fibers and chips that they can plant in people's brains that it'll have a lot of different functions. For example, like people who suffer from Parkinson's disease, which is a disease that originates because of like synapses in the brain, receptors kind of misfiring. It can assist in neurological disorders. It can assist people experiencing depression and addiction issues potentially without the use of drugs. It would essentially kind of allow computer technology to go in and identify areas of the brain that could be optimized, and it'll do that. But it would also allow people, and this is what got the most attention, even though I feel like those other applications are far more beneficial to humanity, but it could insert music directly into your brain. So essentially, this chip, you could connect it to your computer or the mobile device or your Tesla, and you could listen to music inside your head that no one else would actually hear. And there are actually, the implications are too, that you could hear sounds that are currently imperceivable by the human ear, that your brain should be able to hear them, but they're on frequencies that our human ear, our hardware, to interpret sound, which sound is just frequencies that are outside the range of sounds that we can hear. Like, you see this sometimes with like certain whistles that animals can hear or something. That they exist on frequencies that the human outside the scope of the human ear. Whales, for example, there's some whales are so low that the like wave of the sound is so wide it can actually be heard by a pod of whales like 1,000 miles away underwater, but it's too low for the human ear to hear. This chip would actually bypass the ear entirely and allow you to play music directly in your head, along with some what I think could be, potentially helpful medical applications. It also sounds pretty terrifying.
There were a lot of movies in the 1970s.
Stresses me out.
Sure, why not? I mean,
this stresses me out.
Yeah.
Why does it stress you out?
I've never seen Terminator before.
I was stressed out when you were talking about at the beginning, and then you said, "Oh, it could help Parkinson's." Like my grandfather had Parkinson's, so I'm like, "Oh, that would have been awesome to help him." And then all these other things, and then I'm like
just listen to music.
Put music in my head. This feels like scary things to
1970s Christian end times movies.
This is it right here.
That they're going to put chips inside of us. And that's called the mark of the beast. So just FYI.
Hasn't Kanye been talking about this too, you guys?
Elon Musk is now the Antichrist. I'm just saying. 1970s Christian movie said it.
Do y'all know how many times my Disney Plus account has been hacked? do y'all know how many times my freaking Apple account has been hacked from somewhere? Do you think I really want somebody to hack my actual brain?
Oh, that's interesting.
Come on, dog. It's like,
Derek.
imagine if I'm just chilling all of a sudden and then I'm just, and then now someone else has control of those synapses, make you see things you don't want to see. And here's another question. Do I really want Elon Musk to be the one doing it? Like, do I want to trust Elon with updates to my brain? Like, I mean, you have to update your Apple software every so often. Am I going to say, Elon, upgrade me, bro? Like, no, I'm cool. I'm just regular old brain.
All I've thought about is this Mark of the Beast side of it. I didn't think about the hacking side of it. Because don't you remember like 3-4 weeks ago when like Elon, Kanye, huge, powerful people had their Twitter accounts all hacked at the exact same time.
Yes. It was like a college kid or something.
It was a 17-year-old kid in Florida.
Yes.
They just he just got arrested.
I'm out.
He worked at a movie theater and was just bored because there were only 3 people going to Dark Knight shows.
Elon couldn't even keep his Twitter secure.
And by the way, that kid got paid because he got paid in Bitcoin. So they're not even going to be able to make him give any of it back, any of that. Like, it's just, he's good to go. Like, it's like, yeah, I'll take 10 years. No problem. Give it to me.
What do you mean he got paid?
Because the whole scam was send me Bitcoin.
Oh, yes. I remember now.
So now it's like Bitcoin is untraceable. So, I mean, he could just be like, hey, no, I'm good. Just go ahead and send me to jail. Like, man, I'm getting paid. Yeah, give me my little 10 years.
And I think all those concerns are legitimate, but I honestly think this is not a matter of if, but when. I really do. I feel like we use, I mean, if you were to, because here's the thing, if you were to go back in time like 150 years and explain LASIK eye surgery to them, that, hey, in the future, we're going to have laser beams. You lay on this table 10 minutes away, 10 minutes later, you know, they're going to cut into your retina, recalibrate the curvature of your eyeball, and you're going to be better in 2 days. They would be like, that's insane. I would never do that. Technology, we should not be shooting lasers with people like, and I'm not disparaging LASIK, but I just think that the rate that technology is not just evolves, but technology is accepted I feel like it's an inevitability, you know.
We've done think pieces in recent years about the question about bioethics from a Christian worldview is the question that the church is not addressing at the rate that you're talking about, that technology is progressing and the church is not talking about this. The question of what is life and what is human is something that the church is going to have to grapple with from a theological perspective, because like things like 3D printing, they are 3D printing biomatter now, living flesh. So if somebody like was born with a deformity with no ear, they can 3D print an ear and surgically add it to the person, right? And then it'll work, right? This is where medicine is going. And so like, let's say I have a limb amputated or I have an accident or whatever, I can recreate that flesh and it is part of my body. The wiring works, the nerves work, everything works. And it's like, it was created by man, not God. And so the question is going to be like, is it 51%? That's when they're not human anymore? Or like, what defines humanity? What defines the soul? And then the question is, if we have these things that could in time be superhuman abilities for soldiers or for whatever, like you're right, they may need some sort of like CPU to be added to control these new abilities that are now part of my body. I mean, and this sounds science fiction.
Superpowers.
Dude, it's science fiction, but it's not science fiction because this is what's happening rapidly.
And there's going to be flying.
Superpowers, Cameron.
And functionally, when you look at a lot, you know, because this is a technology that would have neurological implications, if you looked at a lot of, you know, drugs that I think are very important, help a tremendous amount of people, like, you know, let's say like an antidepressant that targets serotonin receptor, like they know how that emotion is created chemically in your brain, and that your serotonin receptors are either not sensitive enough, or, you know, they can actually affect the levels of serotonin that can make you feel. And like, I think those are incredible breakthroughs that have tremendously helped humanity. But from just a functional standpoint, I don't know if they're all that different, you know, kind of ethically from me using a digital form instead of a chemical form to kind of, you know, correct or enhance or treat, you know,
like think about addiction, like
within the brain,
opioid addiction or something like that. And I'm addicted because of pain and numbing and things like that. And if you could have an alternative where you could have this thing added to your brain to rewire it so you don't feel the pain, why is that not a positive thing?
If you can have it to not feel the pain, someone can hack it to make you feel it at an excruciating level that you cannot control.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so if I take an antidepressant, I can put it in my body. If something bad happens, you
don't take it.
I just got to be like, whoa, I'm off of this. But if you permanently put something in my head that I don't have control over, I mean, I'm not adjusting the serotonin levels or not. It's some automated thing. I'm like, I'm going to sit this out and let the brave white people handle it first. I'm going to let y'all walk in and do y'all thing first. And we'll do like white black people do most of the time. We like, I ain't going in there. Like, look, if it worked for 100 years and y'all, then I'll be like, all right, cool. I might put a little cyborg in my head or something. You know?
I mean, this really is, aside from the mark of the beast thing or whatever, I mean, this is really a question of, from a Christian theology perspective, of like God's creative intent. Like, did he give man the ability to come up with these technologies to further enhance and improve life? And so therefore this is all a good thing and we should embrace it as Christians? Or are we saying that this is unnatural and against God's perfect order, and so therefore we should fight it? And that's something the church is actually going to have to wrestle with in the coming years, and they're not even thinking about it right now.
Oh, they're going to wrestle with it. This is the mark of the beast. That's how it's going to be wrestled with. It's going to be very unnuanced, just like almost everything. And we're going to be looking for a...
We need to bring someone really smart on to talk about it.
Yeah, we have over the years, and I think we should. I mean, like Dr. Nigel Cameron or other bioethicists, that we should bring people on.
Tim Keller. That's my Keller always has great perspectives on things like this.
Dr. Moore's good at these things too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we'll book it. Sounds good. Okay, what do you have, Jamie?
Okay, so this is a little different. Also, Jesse, I had that LASIK surgery.
Yeah.
And they tell you for about 10 seconds you're going to be completely blind, and you are. You were laying there on the table and you're blind. It's crazy.
But was it effective for you?
Yeah, I love it. That's 12 years ago. It's awesome.
Yeah. I can't even put eye drops in my eye. I'm not going to.
That's how my husband is. I'm like, you could do it. Yeah.
No way.
Okay, here's my slice today. I saw this woman on Instagram a couple of weeks ago and was really intriguing to me. Her name is Emma Faye Rudkin. And I started doing a little research about her. And then I started to see that I didn't know this at first, but she is deaf, and she has a whole organization that is geared towards people who are living with hearing loss or deaf. It's called Aid the Silent. Well, she puts this Instagram video about how she went in to get groceries and she couldn't read the person's lips because they had a mask on. And I thought, I went out to dinner the other night with some friends, and it was kind of loud, and I couldn't hear the waitress. Nothing she said I couldn't hear her, and I don't have hearing loss. And I couldn't read her lips, and it reminded me of this girl. And I went back and I did some checking into her, and she has created Clear Mask. She's a part of this organization. I've seen other people do it as well, but I've just seen her. She's in San Antonio, and they've created Clear Mask because she said in one of her stories, which really got to me, she said, in that moment, I realized I lost my independence that I've been working on my whole life, where she was with her family and her family had to tell her what the waitress was saying because she couldn't read her lips.
Oh, man.
And I just thought, man, way to go for her to say, I'm going to help create this to help people who suffer with hearing loss. And, it was only in I think it was 1990, the American with Disability Act that gave, what's the word I'm looking for? Discriminate people because of disabilities. And so she's created this Clear Mask, and now it's taking off. And I just want everyone to know about it, because if you know someone who is deaf or hard of hearing or has hearing loss, this is really important that we let them know about these things, and maybe even we need to start wearing masks that are clear so that we are part of this, part of the help.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
really
people
good.
that put two masks on and so their mouths open like puppets? And
No.
So when their mouth is closed, it looks like they're wearing a mask. But then when they open their mouth, like the mask is above and like on their chin. Like they have one mask covering their nose and one mask covering their chin.
But that's not really helpful though for the virus, is it?
No, not at all. That's the whole point. It's like they're faking it.
Yes, but she's saying put a Clear Mask on so we can help. And she was even saying the grocery store, like maybe we should have the people who are waitresses or serving the grocery store or whatever to think about the people that might come in there that have hearing loss. And so I love that story. Emma Faye Rudkin's doing an awesome thing.
Absolutely. All right, what do you have, Derek?
So I got my guy. First off, I need y'all to know Kanye is my favorite artist.
Yeah, you told us. I love that.
Behind Jerry Falwell Jr.
Jerry has the potential. We got to get
about
in
to
the
be your
studio.
new breakout artist.
We're going to take him to the next level. We're going to take him
Yeah.
to the next level. But he has everything. But Kanye, so apparently a well-connected GOP strategist is helping Kanye West get on the ballot in Wisconsin. The idea is hopefully he can get on the ballot and split votes from Biden, or peel some votes from Biden. So I thought this was going to kind of go away, and it seems like Ye has been kind of quiet, but I don't know if this is going away. Seems like this may be moving, like he's actually doing this.
I heard that he announced a running mate, and like he's going to go on the ballot with a running mate, and it's a lady who runs a Bible study in Cody, Wyoming, where his ranch is. And so, she's like a spiritual mentor to him, and that's his running mate. So,
all right.
So there's that.
So I take it that Wisconsin is like a a notable state in this election. Like it matters.
yeah.
That's why they're sending him
It's a swing
there.
state. Yeah, they're just going to try and siphon just enough in the pivotal battleground states to change the election. That's what
I thought about it. I said, at first I thought to myself, I'm like, man, Kanye wouldn't do that. But then considering his conservative lean now, this could be a Kanye idea of, because he's extremely smart. This could definitely be something that's like, yo, I'm trying to peel some stuff to make sure that Donald Trump gets elected because he upholds the same principles that I uphold. So, man, this is wild. If you'd have told me that we were going to be here in 2020 4 years ago, my mind I'd have just thought you was lying.
I think if someone wanted to be like, here, I'm going to show you 2020 in one picture. It's Jerry Falwell with his black water and puffy face being like,
his underwear hanging out.
Yeah, and it's like, here we are, guys, president of the largest Christian university. This is going to be a minor blip on your radar in 2020, believe it or not.
Also, UConn canceled the first. They're the first major team to cancel the football season. So
we'll watch that.
That's sad, man. That's sad, man.
Do you think that's going to be a precedent? Like we're going to see this more?
I
think delaying it to maybe the spring, it might be something, because I've heard, like, just watching Last Chance U on Netflix, they follow JUCO schools, and the next season for the JUCO school that this current season, the new one, is about, their season will be played in the spring. So I'm wondering if big universities are going to follow suit and just punt it a few months.
Golly.
So we'll see. Punt it. Pun intended.
Got it.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Chad Veach joins us.
And if our world comes tumbling down, I never could forgive myself for leaving out. You're the one, you are the only one. Such a fool, I took your love and I've been all the rules. You took the bow and didn't let it show.
You're listening to The Head and the Heart. The song is Honeybee. Well, Chad Veach is a pastor, communicator, author, and he's a passionate people person. If you've ever met him, he lights up in a room. Gotta love the guy. He's a lead pastor and founder of Zoe Church, based in LA. And, because of his deep passion for people, he wrote a new book that's coming out in a couple weeks, all about using your influence to improve the lives of others. It's called Help, I Work with People. And our very own Tyler Huckabee sat down with him to talk about the book and a lot more. Here's part of our conversation with Chad Veach.
So, Chad, you wrote this book that is ostensibly about leadership, but obviously not everybody listening to this podcast necessarily thinks of themselves as a leader, or as one of the other things you refer to a lot in the book, as a people person, because I think we have a very culturally ingrained idea of what leaders and people should look like. So what would you say to somebody who's like, well, I'm not really the kind of person who people look to as a leader, or I'm not the kind of person who people assume is a people person? What would you tell them?
The reason why I wrote this book is what God is passionate about most, I want to be passionate about most. God is so passionate about people, he sent his one and only son for people, not for a church. He's using his son to build a church, but he's obsessed with humanity. So the origin of this book is really to go like, hey guys, like, you realize what God loves the most, right? It's humans. And so I just don't think God's going like, okay, all you guys that are quiet over there, I'm back in line. I'm only using the loud ones. Like, that's not God, because I think a great thought is, Paul goes, I become all things to all people. And the truth within that is you can't win people that don't like you. So there's some people that this is the great thing about where we're at right now. Some people look at me and they go, I hate the way that guy dresses. I hate the way that guy preaches. I hate the way he talks. He's too loud. He's too this, that. But you know what? There's some people that go, I love the way he preaches. I love the way he dresses. I love and so people I can't reach, you can. But we'll never reach them if our heart doesn't love people.
You point out a lot that in order to be helpful to other people, in order to fulfill your calling, you need to stay healthy. You need to get healthy. For somebody who hears that and is like, well, I don't think I am very healthy. I don't feel very healthy. What advice do you have for them? What are some things we can do to try to stay healthy?
That's a fantastic question, because I think it's a cocktail of bad decisions that get you into a mess. And it's a cocktail of great decisions that get you into hell. So let's take a verse, for example, when the Bible says, beloved, I pray your soul may prosper in all things. So the all things is very important, because our soul, which is our mind, will, and emotions, our soul has to prosper in all things to do well. So let's look at the buckets of life: physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, even financial health. So in order for me to be healthy, I can't look at that's why I can't just read the Bible and I'm healthy. It's like, I got to drink water. I really need to sleep. Boy, hobbies would be good for my mental health. Community is really good for my soul. I've got to make decisions. That's why I think it's really important to differentiate between, are you physically tired or is your soul tired? Sometimes I'm spiritually bankrupt. So maybe I need to get some spiritual renewal going on in my life. So I think leadership is just identifying what small disciplines do I need to create in my life to check the box of going this is what I need physically. I notice for me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I know some guys are superheroes. They only need 6. I'm not that guy. I need 8 hours of sleep. I know for me, spiritually, I'm just kind of selfish and not kind if I don't have daily Bible reading. Just for me, that's just how I'm wired. I know for me, my soul, I need hobbies. I need outlets. This morning, I teed off at 5:50 a.m. to play golf, to be done by 9. Why? I want to work, but I need hobbies. And I got 4 kids. So it's about the only time I could play golf, right? And so I just think it's about making little decisions of disciplines and stewardship of who you are to become healthy.
Something that we are all learning to deal with a lot more now, I think, in the current social media era we're in, is learning how to deal with criticism, which is something that public people have always had to know how to do well, but now the rest of us are having to play catch up too. You are somebody who's had to field a fair amount of criticism yourself. What advice do you have for us to know how to determine how to listen to criticism well, and to determine what criticism is valid and what isn't?
Well, I think it's always good to look at criticism and just go is that true? Do I do that? I get criticism like crazy now more than ever. You're a fake preacher. You don't preach the whole gospel. It feels limitless right now. I have to, for the ones that every once in a while I see and I go, do I do that? Am I that? I think it's just, hey, before I rule everything out, maybe I can rule everything in and just kind of look at it and go, do I need to improve here? Now, I will tell you, where do I listen to criticism the most? My wife, our team. I saw someone post the other day, the people who know me the most, I want to respect me the most. So it's I'm really going to listen to people that I live life with, because, they know me. Somebody on social media does not know me at all. They know a fraction of the highlight reel of my life. Nobody posts the bad stuff of their life on social media. We're posting our very best. So you don't know me. For the people that are living life with me, if they bring criticism, I got to give ear to that.
That was Chad Veach. Make sure to check out his new book, Help I Work With People, when it comes out August 18th.
It's okay. It's alright. I feel good. I feel fine. I feel it all to me. I
listening to 2 Feet. The song is Gray. All right, well, it's time for your feedback. But if you're looking at the clock, you know that this is a really long show. And the question of the week last week was so good. And your feedback was so good. We don't want to cut it short. So we have made an executive decision to punt this week's feedback segment to next week. If you don't remember, we talked about aliens last week and kind of the confirmation that UFOs exist, that the government is finally confirming it. We had a minister and astrobiologist on the show to talk about kind of the faith and science ramifications of if aliens are truly real and confirmed to be real. What does that do to Christian theology? And it's just a deep well of content there. So we asked you, what do you think about aliens? And does that change your faith in any way? You hit us up on our messages. You slid into our DMs on Instagram on Relevant Magazine, and you replied to us on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. There's a bunch of great stuff. And if you didn't reply, we want to hear from you. So hit us up and let us know what you think about the alien news. And we will read your feedback on next week's show. Well, many thanks to Cory Asbury for joining us. You can get his brand new album out. It's out now, just released a couple days ago. Get it wherever you listen to music. And do yourself a favor and follow him on Instagram at Cory Asbury. He's a pretty funny dude. Also, thanks to Chad Veach. His new book, Help, I Work With People, comes out August 18th. You can pre-order it today. And also follow Chad on IG at Chad Veach. He's very prolific on the platform. Well, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
And I'm Derek Miner, producer for the newest artist, Blackwater Jerry, coming in stores 2021.
Blackwater Jerry. We will see you next week. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, check out our Relevant Podcast Network, featuring shows like Relevant Daily, Signs of Life, Unedited, and many more launching throughout the year.
He nearly broke our necks with just his finger strength.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.